Judges chapter 6 again, we left off, and Israel was hiding out in caves, hiding out like animals from the Midianites, because every time they would plant something, every time they would get ready, the Midianites would come, they would destroy it, they would destroy the produce of the ground, they would destroy the livestock, that they would just take everything from them. Now we get down to verse 5, it says, "For they would come up with their livestock in their tents, and they would come in like locusts for the number of them. Both they and their camels were innumerable. And they came into the land to devastate it. So Israel was brought very low because of Midian. And then the sons of Israel cried out to the Lord." When everything's going good, that's the way we do, ain't it? We forget about God. When we get the job, we're praising Him, we're living the dream, everything's fine. We'll forget about God. Oh, we may show up at church. We may go to a church service. We may lift our hands every now and then. We may praise or sing a song or listen to Christian radio, but that's about it. But let hardship come. Let a struggle, a battle. And the first thing we do is call out to God. You know, God's the same on the mountain as He is in the valleys. We need to be having the same communion with God when things are going good as we have with Him when things are going bad. We need to commune with God when everything's going the way we want it to, just like we do when everything's falling apart. Israel, when they hit this adversity, when they hit this struggle, this battle, it says they called out to God. Here's what I love. Israel cried out to the Lord, and verse 7 says, "Now it came about, when the sons of Israel cried out to the Lord on account of Midian, that the Lord sent a prophet to the sons of Israel." They cried out, and God heard. God listened. God acted. God intervened. Look, they had forgotten about God. They had gotten away from God. Do you remember where we started at verse 1? It says the sons of Israel did what was evil in the sight of God. God brought judgment against them. Midian is here because God has placed them in this path, in this place, to teach Israel a lesson. And what happens? When Israel cries out to God, God listens. He hears. And He sends someone. That's shouting ground. That even in their disobedience, even in their rebellion, God still loved them enough to give them an opportunity to call on Him. And when they called, He listened. What an amazing God. You never get so far away that He doesn't hear you. You never get so far away that He won't answer. God's desire is that every one of us would come to Him. That every one of us would come to know Christ. That every one of us would accept Christ. You know, I hear people talk all the time, how can a loving God send people to hell? God doesn't send anybody to hell. The question is, why would people choose hell over a loving God? God has made a way. He's made a plan. He's already set it up. The hell is a place that's prepared for Satan and his angels. It's not made for human beings. Now, we can choose to go there. We can let our disobedience override what God has done for us. We can choose hell instead of God. But God's desire is that every single one of us would be reunited with Him. That every one of us would come to Him through Christ. There is nothing that can separate you so far from God that He won't listen. That He won't act. That He won't intervene. That He won't hear when you call His name. Christ died for all mankind. For all times. The blood that He shed was sufficient for every human being that's ever lived. All you got to do is call out to Him. All you got to do is cry out, and he'll hear you. Guess we'll pick this up tomorrow. God bless you guys. I love you.